Why is the 2026 World Cup different from every other World Cup? Imagine a World Cup bigger than anything football has ever seen. More teams, more countries, more matches, more fans, and more opportunities than ever before. For nearly 100 years, the FIFA World Cup has been football's greatest stage. It is where legends are made. It is where dreams come true. And sometimes, where dreams are shattered. Every 4 years, billions of people stop what they are doing to watch nations battle for the most prestigious trophy in sports. But in 2026, everything changes. The tournament that football fans have known for decades is about to enter a completely new era. And whether you are a lifelong supporter or a brand new fan, the next World Cup will be unlike anything we have seen before. To understand why the 2026 World Cup is so important, we first need to understand the history of the competition itself. The very first World Cup took place in 1930. Only 13 teams participated. At the time, international travel was difficult, expensive, and slow. Many countries simply could not attend. Over the decades, football continued to grow. As more nations joined FIFA, more countries wanted the chance to compete on football's biggest stage. The tournament expanded several times throughout its history, from 13 teams to 16, then 24, and eventually 32. For nearly 3 decades, 32 teams became the standard format. Fans grew familiar with it, players grew familiar with it, and many believed it would remain unchanged forever. But football was changing, and FIFA believed the World Cup needed to change too. In 2026, the FIFA World Cup will become the largest World Cup in history. For the first time ever, 48 national teams will compete. That is 16 more teams than previous tournaments. The tournament will also feature 104 matches. By comparison, the 2022 World Cup in Qatar featured just 64 matches. This means fans will enjoy 40 additional games. More stories, more surprises, more goals, and more chances for smaller nations to make history. But that is only the beginning. For the first time ever, 3 countries will host the tournament together: the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Together, they will welcome millions of football fans from around the world. Never before has a World Cup been hosted on this scale. The tournament will stretch across an entire continent. Fans may travel thousands of kilometers between matches. Games will be played in some of the largest stadiums on Earth, from Mexico City's legendary football atmosphere to the modern stadiums of the United States and the passionate supporters of Canada. The tournament will connect 3 nations through one shared love: football. The sheer size of the event means that fans will experience cultures, cities, and football traditions unlike any previous World Cup. For many people, it will feel less like a tournament and more like a month-long global festival. But perhaps the most significant change is the increase in participating teams. For decades, qualifying for the World Cup was incredibly difficult. Many strong football nations missed out. Entire regions often felt underrepresented. In Africa, Asia, North America, and Oceania, talented teams frequently watched the tournament from home. Now, more countries have a chance to qualify. More players can experience the World Cup. More fans can support their nation on the biggest stage. And more football cultures can be introduced to global audiences. For countries that have never reached a World Cup before, the expansion represents something incredibly important: hope. And this creates one of the most exciting questions surrounding the 2026 World Cup. Could we see completely new nations make history? Throughout football history, major tournaments have often been dominated by traditional powers: Brazil, Germany, Argentina, France, Italy, and Spain. But with more teams entering the competition, the possibility of surprise stories increases dramatically. Could a smaller nation reach the knockout stages? Could a newcomer shock the football world? Could the next football fairy tale begin in 2026? No one knows for certain, but the opportunity has never been greater. However, not everyone agrees that bigger automatically means better. Some fans love the new format. Others believe the traditional tournament should have remained unchanged. Critics worry about more matches, more travel, and possible declines in quality. Supporters argue that football should be more inclusive, that more countries deserve the opportunity to compete, and that the World Cup should truly represent the entire football world. So why did FIFA decide to make this dramatic change? What were the reasons behind expanding the tournament? And how exactly will the new format work? In the next chapter, we'll explore the decision that changed the future of football forever